Shots were fired last night, but no one was shot.
Yes, last night, a little before midnight, an LMPD off-duty officer actually was going eastbound on 264 nearing Breckenridge Lane when he was flagged down by a motorist that needed some assistance. And when the officer got to that vehicle, found the driver of that vehicle had sustained some type of injury at that point. It appeared the car had been hit by some type of gunshot. However, it turns out that the individual was not shot, but simply was injured by the glass that came, which is still very dangerous, provided that we don't know at this stage whether it happened on the expressway or not. We're looking at several possibilities of where it could happen, and we're trying to find anyone who has any information that might have seen something to say something, and they certainly can do that through our anonymous tip hotline on area code 502-574-LMPD.
But you think that it may have happened on the expressway while he was driving?
We don't know. We know that he was stopped on the expressway and was asking for help at that point. We're still trying to find a location where it may have happened, and we don't know whether it happened on the expressway or not at this stage.
Can you talk about the officer having the wherewithal to know that, to just be, because usually that time of night, sometimes people just are laser focused on the road ahead. Well,
the officer was off duty at the time, was flagged down, and that officer did exactly what we hoped they would do, and that is render aid to an individual in the time of need. And that's what the majority of our officers do every day.
Can you say where that officer is from, what division?
The 5th Division.
5th Division. Was he just ending his shift?
I'm not sure exactly what his capacity was at that time. He was not on duty.
Okay. And then the driver, did the driver think he had been shot at the time, or did he know right away it was just
I don't think anybody knew exactly. The point was getting this individual some help. That ops had been injured some type of way, and thank God it wasn't a gunshot.
Do you know how many shots were fired at the car?
I don't know the exact number, again, anyone who has any information, because here's the real deal. Even though it happened around midnight, not as many cars as they're obviously doing a rush hour time, but you also would have been putting other people in danger at that point that had nothing to do with whatever beef this individual may have had with the victim.
Do you know if this started as road rage or anything like that?
Again, it's still too early to know, because we haven't been able to interview everybody at this point. And again, we're waiting on that information.
You say off duty, just to clarify, he had his police car, he was marked?
Yes, that's the only way they would have known. Yeah.
But there's no reason for people to be panicked about driving on the expressway or anything like that.
I don't think there's a need to panic. However, there's a need to be vigilant. When you do see things, regardless of whether it's just regular traffic or anything, nobody expects to be shot on the expressway or anywhere. But in this enlightened day that we live in, you have to be cognizant of that fact.
I don't know if this is something you can speak to, and I don't know if I don't want to sound like I'm victim blaming, but can you, we were behind a car, the light turned green obviously for like 5 seconds, and I was thinking normally I would blow like crazy, but thought that the windows were tinted, we couldn't tell what was going on, and you just never know. Should people kind of just be cautious and let up on the horns, with something like that happens, just be patient?
I think patience is the operable word there, because you don't know nowadays. It used to be a courtesy to blow your horn, but now that could go into something else. So certainly just be as patient as you can, wait, and hopefully you have a safe travel along the way, which the majority of our motorists do in our city.
Have there been any other shootings like this recently?
Not that I'm right off the top of my head, I can't remember.